Have you ever stood in front of someone new and completely forgotten every English word you know?
Oh, I've definitely been there, Mia. It's like your brain just goes on a sudden vacation.
Exactly, and you just stand there smiling while your mind searches for the perfect grammar rule.
It's the worst feeling, right?
It really is. But today we are going to help our listeners stop that from happening.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leo.
And I'm Mia.
Welcome to the English Blend.
Today's topic is all about meeting someone for the first time and how to focus on fluency over perfection.
Exactly. So grab your coffee and let's get started.
So, Leo, let's talk about that first meeting anxiety.
It usually happens because we want to be 100% accurate, don't you think?
Definitely. We focus so much on accuracy, which is using the correct grammar and perfect vocabulary.
Right, but when you're meeting a new person, fluency is actually much more important.
I agree. And for our listeners, let's define that simply.
Sure, accuracy is like a math problem where everything must be exactly right.
And fluency is like a river. It's about the flow and keep the conversation moving.
I love that analogy because when you meet someone at a cafe or a party, they don't care if you used the present perfect or the past simple.
Exactly. They just want to know who you are and what you're saying.
But the problem is that grammar often blocks that flow.
It really does. It acts like a wall.
You start thinking, should I say I have been or I was? And by the time you decide, the moment is gone.
I actually have a short story about this from when I was learning my second language.
Oh, tell us. I love your stories.
I was at a small bakery in Italy and I wanted to ask for a specific pastry.
Let me guess, you were worried about the gender of the noun?
Exactly. I stood there for 2 minutes mentally checking my grammar textbook.
And what happened?
The person behind me in line just pointed and said the word, and I felt so silly.
See, that's the grammar block in real life.
I realized then that communication is just about getting the message from my head to theirs.
That is a great lesson for everyone listening.
It's not just about being correct, it's about being connected.
I think in some cultures, making a mistake is seen as a big failure.
Right, but in English-speaking countries, especially in casual settings, small mistakes are totally normal.
We even make them as native speakers.
All the time, you know?
Exactly, so let's give our friends some practical tips to help them next time they meet someone new.
Great idea. My first tip is what I call massive listening.
Explain that for us, Mia.
It means listening to so much natural English that the phrases just live in your head.
Like a song that you can't stop singing?
Precisely. You don't think about the grammar of a song, you just know the words.
That's a powerful tool because it builds your gut feeling for the language.
My second tip is to use chunks instead of single words.
Oh, I love chunks, like how's it going or nice to meet you.
Exactly. Don't build the sentence word by word.
Right, if you try to build how is it going from scratch, it takes too much energy.
But if you treat it as one single chunk of sound, it comes out fluently.
It's like a pre-made sandwich instead of making the bread yourself.
That's a funny way to put it, Leo, but it's true.
My favorite tip is the 3-second rule.
Tell them how that works.
When someone asks you a question, you have 3 seconds to start talking.
Just 3 seconds? That sounds scary.
It is at first, but it stops your brain from overanalyzing the grammar.
So just say something, even if it's just, oh, that's a good question.
Exactly. That's a filler chunk that gives you time to think while still sounding fluent.
So we have massive listening, chunks, and the 3-second rule.
And don't forget the most important mindset: communication over perfection.
You're right, Leo. It's about sharing a moment with a new person.
Let's look at a few phrases that can really help our listeners get their point across.
That's actually our first phrase, to get your point across.
It means to make someone understand what you are trying to say, even if your grammar isn't perfect.
Right, like, I struggled with my verbs, but I still got my point across.
Exactly. It focuses on the result of the conversation.
Our second phrase is to hit a wall.
I use this one when I'm tired or when I can't find the words.
Me too. It means to reach a point where you can't go any further or you feel stuck.
You might say, I was talking to my new boss, but I hit a wall with my vocabulary.
And if that happens, just remember our third phrase. It's not the end of the world.
I love that one. It's so encouraging.
It means that a mistake or problem is not a big disaster.
Exactly. If you use the wrong tense, it's not the end of the world.
The person we're talking to probably didn't even notice.
They're likely just happy to be talking to you.
This has been such a good discussion about meeting new people.
Let's do a quick recap for everyone.
Remember, fluency is the flow of the conversation, while accuracy is the technical correctness.
Don't let grammar become a wall that stops you from connecting.
Use your chunks, try the 3-second rule, and listen to as much English as you can.
And most importantly, stay relaxed.
If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world as long as you get your point across.
Practice these things tomorrow when you go to work or the cafe.
Even if you just say, "Hello, how is your day?" to a stranger, it's a great start.
That was a great talk.
It really was.
Make sure to join us next time when we talk about how to order food like a pro.
I can't wait for that one. I'm already hungry.
See you in the next episode of The English Blend.
Bye, everyone.